Hello, welcome to round one. So we've won the die roll and we'll choose to play first. So I think this hand's a keep. We will need to find a third and a fourth land, but we curve nicely from healer on turn 2 to Cliffhaven Vampire on turn 4. Probably playing the Undo War Cleric on turn 3 unless our opponent plays something we really have to deal with. Okay, well, dual healers is quite nice. Okay, so our opponent could be playing blue Drazi if they've got 2 islands. So we'll attack first. And then post combat, play the second healer. This could get horribly awry'd. No. Okay. Played against a... Okay, anticipate. Yeah, mono blue deck that played horribly awry the other night. I'm not sure what the blue Drazi or mono blue, whatever you want to call it, deck plays. But we can deal with and anticipate. Means next turn, if we find an untapped land, we can play Cliffhaven Vampire to gain 2 life and do 4 damage. And with our opponent down to 10 on turn 4. So, okay, so this is a tutelage deck. Okay, this is where Anguished Unmaking comes in fairly nice. We can Anguished Unmaking away the tutelage. We're probably not going to, though. We're probably just going to play the Cliffhaven Vampire. I think we can afford to get milled for a turn. And the Vampire is the much more aggressive play. Okay, so we lose one of our Anguished Unmakings. Unfortunate, but I think we can deal with it. So we could activate the Shambling Vent here and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to our opponent. It would mean our opponent could have an Engulf the Shores if they're going to be playing mono blue. So that's something to be wary of. Yeah, I think post-combat we play Anguished Unmaking and the Undo War Cleric. Okay, so they spell shrivel the Unmaking. I think we can deal with that. So I think that basically means we've won next turn. Even with an Engulf the Shores, we can play 2 healers. Yeah. So our opponent scoops. That was a fairly easy game. Okay, so it looks like the removal is bad for this game. Probably quite like to have the full duress. We could take out Anguished Unmaking. But I think I quite like to have it access to the tutelage removal. I might cut a few Read the Bones here, or cut 1, because if we're going to get milled, we might not want to draw the cards. Eerie Interlude, I think I prefer Oath of Gideon, and use it as the burn spell with the Cluster Healer. Core Entanglers is probably not that great in this game. because if our opponent's not playing many creatures. We've not really got much we want to bring in for it. We could go for the Eerie Interludes, but I think I prefer to keep the Entanglers. If they are playing a creature, could come in handy. We don't know how they're going to sideboard. Obnixilis could be alright in this game, but actually I suppose ultimating an Obnixilis would be better than a Core Entanglers. It's unlikely to come under any pressure to its loyalty. Unless they're splashing black, they could have Runa's Path, I suppose, if they splash black. But yeah, if we can ultimate Obnixilis, then it's quite nice. Basically, it means our opponent can't really mill us with a tutelage. Okay, 7 land. We'll be shipping this. Okay, this is fine. Hopefully we'll scry something useful to the top. Drana's Emissary is useful. So, yep. This hand looks like it could be perfectly fine. Nagging Thoughts. I think this looks like a fairly... Yeah, I suppose it's a way to draw cards at instant speed, but... I know, I'd say this is almost like a budget deck. I don't see Artificer's Epiphany scene really being that playable. Okay, Sorin's quite nice to have in hand. So I think it's quite important to note you really want to keep Westbale Abbey in your hand for as long as possible. So that your opponent doesn't know you have access to a Westbale Abbey. Particularly not playing it in game 1 is quite nice. So yeah, that gets Void Shattered. I don't think we're going to play around counter spells here. I think here we play... we're going to play the land before we play Drana's Emissary, but I think we play Drana's Emissary before we play the Cliffhaven Vampire. Because we preferred the Emissary to get countered. Yep, that's fine. Ice 4 region, okay, so that taps down the Undo War Cleric, that's annoying. If we draw a land, we can just Anguish on making it, that's not too bad. Yeah, we do draw the land. So now having taken the rest of our removal out, that looks like a pretty bad decision. But I don't feel like they'll have too many other threatening creatures. Okay, so we'll keep Oath of Gideon in hand until we draw Celestial Healer. Will this get countered? Yes. So we don't play anything for that. So our opponent's playing a lot of counters, but we have got a creature down on the board, so they're going to need to find a way to get rid of that. And Ice 4 region won't do it because we've got Sorin. So I'm going to assume they found a counter spell. And we're just going to keep playing out cards until basically, yeah, see what resolves. Engulf the Shores, adverse conditions. Yes, this is like a blue colourless deck. running. I don't know, this feels like a very. So our choice here is we can attack with Shambling Vents, or we can play the Oath of Gideon and have Sorin come in with an extra loyalty. I think I prefer just attacking here. Engulf the Shores. Yep. Okay, so that's annoying, but we do get to replay the Shambling Vent. I assume they're not going to do anything. We have our 6th land. We could just go for the Sorin. I don't think I'm too keen on that. We'll play the Oath of Gideon now. To give Sorin the extra loyalty counter. Let's see what opponent plays. Another Engulf the Shore, okay, so not much value from the Oath of Gideon. They're unlikely to tap out here for Icefall Regent without any creatures on the board. So we can just attack with the Shambling Vent and play the Undo War Cleric again. I quite like that plan. They are going to counter this, then I assume? Nope. Okay, so we don't mind them using our counters there because... So we know they've drawn a land. They've not drawn a counter spell. They've used 2 Spell Shrivels, 2 Void Shatters. We have access to 7 mana. I kind of feel like we go all in on the Sorin here. It might be better to tempt them out. Now, we didn't show them Sorin in game 1, did we? So they don't know we're playing him. Icefall Regent. Okay, that's great. And now off the 3 mana counter spells. And we can just Sorin for 3. Yeah, opponent scoops. They weren't going to win that game. So, yeah, opponent's deck there wasn't the strongest. But it's fairly nice to get a win on the board. So, yeah, we'll be back for round 2. I hope you'll be there.